Hey kids, what's up? I have a game review over the board match report for you all. A bit tired. It's 20 plus 9, but I report on just about all my games, unless they're complete howlers. So I'm doing alright recently. I've actually won my last 3 games up to tonight, which ain't too bad. And I've pretty much been in the 1500s since my rating stopped being provisional. So I've been in the 1500s, started off at 1589, latest 1559. Anyway, to the game. So we're playing Woodseat's D team. I've had mixed results against these guys. I played this one guy twice. What was his name? Matt Malloy. Bugger. He's beaten me twice. Yeah, but then I played Sarah White, and I beat her with a Black Knight's Tango. Anyway, so tonight I'm on board 5 out of 5. So I'm playing for Chesterfield C. We're playing Woodseat's D team. Opponent is Connor Fairfield. Chesterfield won the toss and opted to opted to have the white pieces on board 1, which meant I was on board 5. So we had three boards with white. Anyway, so I've got the white pieces. Now, I did a quick review this morning. Sorry. I'm not meant to be. You're all meant to be yawning. I'm meant to be trying to stop you from falling asleep. Too bad. Wake up! Anyway, so I did a review this morning looking at my recent results. And I'm actually doing okay with the Van Geet. One knight c3, but I thought that I would stick to like the Goering gambit, and with the black pieces against d4, I would go knight f6 and try and get a knight's tango. But against e4, I was going to go e5 and play the old Freddy Krueger repertoire. Okay, anyway, that all counted for nothing because I've got the white pieces. And then, so we have e4, we have e5, we have knight f3, knight c6, and of course we go into the Scotch, hoping for the move which is played at this level 89% of the time. Pawn takes, and then I was going to go Goering gambit and have a load of fun. My opponent was having none of it. My opponent surprised me by playing the Lolli variation. Now, I was kind of familiar with... So yeah, this does exist. I think this is a thing. I think Casper Chess has promoted this as an anti Scotch gambit, because if you like take here and get into this, the Scotch gambit is just vile and horrible to face. But opponent takes here, and I'm thinking, all right, okay. And you don't know who your opponent is. Your opponent could be 1800 or 800. That's the thing. You have to treat everyone with absolute maximum respect. Okay, so obviously he's taken my pawn. This pawn technically is hanging. If I take that pawn, this knight is hanging. And apparently either move is fine, according to Thenjin. They're the only moves, obviously. I decided to trade. And after takes back to take with the queen. Reason is there's no knight on b8 to come out to c6 with tempo. So he plays d6, which I thought was quiet. Blocks in this bishop. Doesn't contest the centre. What's your game? Hey, I'll have a think for a bit. And I decided to play a very unusual move. Knight to d2. Has anyone ever played that move? No, apparently knight c3, bishop c4, c4, e5. No, I'm the first person on the Lichess database at this level, and the level is 1800 and 2000 on Lichess, to play knight to d2. Now, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking on to fianchetto this bishop, so actually the knight on d2 isn't a problem. And I'm thinking I'll probably push b3, I'll probably play bishop b2. I might then have the option of long castles, taking advantage of the semi-open d file. It's the only semi-open file for me, right? I'm not in a rush to develop this bishop. what does the engine say? The engine likes bishop f4, which looks really clunky, you know, already, and it likes knight c3. Anyway, so I played this move, and the engine thinks white's slightly better. Connor plays bishop to d7, and now I push ahead with my idea. Okay, now apparently he does this and he's equal. He brings his queen out here. Now this is annoying. Right, obviously I would rather not take the queen and give him free development with the knight. Okay. However, I also don't like bishop b2. Now if he takes, happy days, that's fine. Right? I get my bishop into the middle of the board. But if I want to do anything else with my queen, my bishop hangs because it's an undefended square on b2. So I just wasn't that happy about it. So I decided to carry on with my, this is the other part of my plan, by the way. Knight over here, defending h2, controlling the centre. So I thought this was my plan anyway, so why not carry on with my knight there. If he wants to take me, be my guest. I'll stick my knight in the middle of the board. It's not maybe the ideal place for my knight, but anyway. So he doesn't trade. He plays e5, and here I decide to bite the bullet and just trade off. Okay, that is actually what the machine says. The machine also likes queen b2. It says they're both plus 0.4. There are no other moves because do anything else with the queen and the rook falls. So you know it's either this, but then you're tying the bishop down, and so I thought, sod it, we'll trade. We'll trade. I'm not a massive fan of these pawns. You know, his bishop's not the happiest bishop in the world, and yeah, anyway, so now I have a think, and I decide to push e5 anyway. And why e5? Yeah, if he takes, I improve my knight. It's a tempo move. He's got to respond, right? And I wasn't really worried about his knight coming in. I thought his might like then on c3. Start again. Right. Welcome to the video. Okay. If he takes, yeah, take back. I thought we were all right. Anyway, so he brings his knight into e4, which I wasn't expecting. And then I decide to push c4. So I'm not worried about this because it's not hitting anything. It's just into space. And I wanted to prevent this move. Why? Because I'm thinking at this point. So, you know, we're playing out actually about one move a minute at this point in time. I wanted to play bishop d3 and hit the knight because the knight can't go back there. He can't go there. He can't go there. Right? He can't go there because my knight takes him. He can't go there because his pawn takes. Can't go there. Can't go there. Ooh. Oh. He's only got this. This is the only square he can go to. Okay, this one. Right? But I thought if I do this, he's actually got that, like on the previous move. If I play bishop d3 now, right? He can just do that. And then it's actually saying c4 is best, or bishop d2. Okay, but anyway. So I decide to play this now to de-encourage this move. Okay, and then see what he does. So what he does is he takes here. Now I play bishop d3. I figure there's no, you know, this is the tempo gaining move. Whatever he does with his knight, I can always grab this pawn back anyway. Right? Let's at least have the option of castling. And I'm quite happy with these bishops at this point. Okay? Quite happy. This bishop might prefer to come here. You know, we'll see. Anyway, so now he defends. And this, I think, was inaccurate. So what's the situation? He's a pawn up right now. But I can now grab the pawn on e5, which I do with a knight. And then quite quickly, my opponent plays the move bishop d6. And I look at this and think, that's got to be a mistake. Because the bishop's the defender of the knight, okay? I'm attacking the knight, but it's defended. But I'm also attacking the bishop, the only defender. My knight itself is under attack. Therefore, surely I can remove the defender. RTD. Remove the defender, right? Now he can either capture my knight back, or he can bugger off with his own knight. But either way, I'm up a piece. And this is the only move for white. You have to take the bishop. Okay? And then I think he thought, he said to me after the game, he thought he had a way of attacking my rook, which I don't quite get. I don't get it at all. Anyway, so he realises he's made a mistake, takes, and now I'm actually threatening this with a fork on rook and king, which isn't good at all. And he's got these doubled isolated pawns, and he's got an isolated A pawn, so it's nearly +5. Okay, I'm actually up 1 bishop, but it's +5. That's the difference. So he castles, I grab the pawn anyway. I realise he may come here. And I could go there, hit the rook. I could escape around this side of the board. But I knew that with 2 pawns like this, I always had these squares. Okay, so I decided to come back. Why have I come back? Well, I want to control E8. This was my worry. I was thinking quite a lot about the timing of this, but I realised that with my bishop here, or my bishop anywhere on this diagonal, he doesn't have E8, rook E8 check, because I can take it. So I figured that I would definitely, if I stayed on that diagonal, stayed on this diagonal here, I would definitely be able to castle and engage my other rook. It's not that I need to get my king into the corner, because my opponent's only got 3 bits left to play with, right? It's more that I want to get this rook into the game. So I castle now. He attacks my rook, rook b1. He comes in here, obviously trying to pair up with this pawn on one of these 2 squares, but he's going to have his work cut out from this point. I play bishop e3, hitting the pawn. He plays a rook over to a8, and now I decide to double up. So, well, kind of double up. So I could double up the rooks on the d file. Can't put any rooks here because of this annoying bishop, and that bishop's going to stay there, being annoying. So my plan is rook d5, put double pressure on yon pawn there. And of course he can't defend it because it's isolated. He can't defend it with any other pawns, can he? Which means he has to defend it with pieces. He attacks this. I quickly play bishop a4. Then afterwards I realised I did actually have this as an option as well. Actually this, right? Because he can't take, because it's defended by the rook. But actually I'm quite happy with this. It might stop the king coming to here. And I think it's safe. That bishop can live there. It can raise a family. Okay, king now starts to come out because obviously there's potential back rank threats. So I carry over my plan rook d5. He brings his bishop to add a second defender to the pawn while still maintaining control over e1, which is very good. Now I decide to evacuate the bishop. And my plan was to come here or maybe to one of these 2 squares. I was thinking maybe actually g4 with the idea of defending, just adding, some security to there. Maybe stick the bishop on f3 as well. And then he plays this and I'm thinking, oh, have I messed up here? Because now, like, for example, if I move my bishop back like I was planning to, takes, he's got a mobile pawn all of a sudden with a rook behind it. And then I thought, hang on, that's not too bad because I do have rook fd1. So doubling up anyway, both on light squares. This bishop's not doing damage. Okay, now we have f6 from black. I swing my bishop over here. This is now a double threat. Okay, I've got two rooks, eyeing up the rook on d8 and undefended pawn on h7. He thinks for quite some time, moves his rook, I snatch the pawn, he comes back, I come back, hit the rook, rook h8 now, okay? And at this point I'm up a bishop and 2 pawns now, but it's +10. It's +10, so this is now an exercise in not screwing everything up. Okay, I play bishop 4, hitting the rook. Rook comes round. And this is cheeky. So this is what I figured out, okay? A3. And I was tempting him to do this. And I figured, now let's work this out on the board, right? I figured if he takes, I have, that frees up this diagonal, right? If he takes, I have rook e1 check, right? So we've got all of these covered, and this by the bishop. Okay, so after rook e1 check, king's forced here, and then I reckoned that this rook coming to here was mate. So let's see, mate and 2. Rook e1 check, king f8 forced. Oh, either rook actually, either rook, because that one's defended, yeah. Either rook to the back rank, and the bishop guards that, so it would have been mate. Opponent did not fall for that. Opponent was not a fool. Played bishop to c3. And now I've gone and created myself a weakness here. If I knew I could always drop this bishop back, I decided to go in with check, supported by the rooks. It's also a fork on this pawn. I figured he only had 4 options. No, that's not an option. Okay, so he's got 3 options. I didn't think he was going to go onto the d file and open himself up to the rook. So I just take the pawn with check. I can even maybe come here. So he comes forwards. And now I come back. Actually, the computer here says taking the pawn is fine. Yeah, let's and if he does this, oh, it's mate and 4. No, you're kidding. There. He's got no, he's only got 1 move because of this, right? Rook d7 check. He's forced onto the back rank. If king e8, then bishop there is mate, and he's caught in the crossfire. If king g8, it's still mate in 2. Rook d8 check. Then king comes here, and then it's this one, right? Yeah, rook 1 to d7 is mate. Well, I didn't calculate that. Anyway, so I decided to bring my bishop back and just hang on to the pawn. Now the object here is to win the game. That's it, pure and simple. Okay. He now drops his rook down to h4, and I'm starting to look at the idea of g3. I'm conscious of back ranks. I've only got 1 rook on the back rank. I need to be a bit careful, okay? So I'm thinking about g3, and if g3, he can't go here. Well, he can. I can just try to trade off there. But I decided to capture this bishop anyway, which guards that square. Now I'm looking at g3, and he can't go here, and he can't go here, and he can't go there or there, right? So if g3, he either has to go there, or he has to go backwards up the h file. Okay, so he now moves the king away. I figure nothing has changed. So I've quite quickly played g3. And then his last move of the game, he plays rook h5 and just blunders his rook and resigns. So there you go. Plus 12, good win. So I've copied that PGN into chess.com. He got 81.8 accuracy, so he played a lot of good moves. 1 miss, apparently. And 2 mistakes. No blunders in the game, but I got 1 inaccuracy. 93.4. And chess.com in its wisdom hasn't given us a guess at ELO. It's just not doing it. If I refresh the page, I don't know if it's going to vote. But 93.4, that'll do me. No, it's not interested. Not interested at all. So, yeah, I looked at my opponent. Standard over the board latest 1250. So yeah, 300 points lower rated than me. But I'm glad that I didn't go into the game with that knowledge, because you just can't afford to do that. You need to treat every opponent as though he's Fabiano Caruana or whatever, you know. You've got to give him maximum respect, which is the right thing to do. But anyway, yeah, good game in the end, and I mean, 93 accuracy over 35 moves. That will do me. That will do me. Absolutely. Anyway, so there you go. There's the game review. Now, I know somebody said in the comments it's nice when you can get a photo from the thing, but here's the thing. I was the first game to finish. The A team were playing with 6 boards, also in the same room. I had 4 other games in for the C team also going on at that point. For me to stand up and go click, because my phone always makes a noise when I take a photo, it just didn't feel right in the thing. So, if I'd have been the last to finish, I could have got a picture with my opponent and stuff like that. So, sorry about that. It's nice to get a feel for the old vibe. But, if you want to know what it's like, join a chess club. Go and do it. Go and play over the board. It's like nothing else. Very different to playing online. Anyway, so, yeah, signs of life for this lovely spring day. Right, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See you later.